Okay, welcome to SAMA, Seattle Circuit Music and Art. We're in Seattle, but we're literally all over the world because it's the world that we're living in right now. We are sharing music from all over the world, focusing on the spiritual and sacred and healing traditions throughout the world that in many ways will help us deal with the difficult times that we're in the Western world, especially that we're living in right now. So tonight we have a very special SAMA. Artists tonight are Kiran Ahluwalia Rez Abbasi. Now, I've known Kiran for quite a while. She is the winner of 2 JUNO Awards. JUNOs are the Canadian Grammys. She's released 7 albums, each one distinctive and pretty amazing. The most recent one is 7 Billion on 6 Degrees Records. Both a lyricist and composer. Kiran's songs speak of cultural intolerance, fighting civil wars within ourselves, and realizing female desire by throwing away shame. Now, Rez was born in Pakistan, raised in California. He is considered one of the foremost modern jazz guitarists performing today. He studied both jazz and classical music at the University of Southern California and in the Manhattan School of Music. He's got a new record that just dropped, I think, a couple of days ago. I'd say, I want to say homage. He's playing work of Django Reinhardt. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to hear some music, and we're going to be raising some funds for a food bank in New York City. So welcome, Kiran.
Hey.
Welcome, Rez.
Hello.
Okay, we're on.
Hey,
we're live.
Derek, Harry, everybody who's joining in from everywhere. We had a few minutes of a glitch, but that was
there are no glitches in the
that's the excitement of live stream.
We're in right now. We're able to enter. We made within our window. They gave us a 9-minute window, and we got in there. We made it work. So first off, thanks for being here, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
How are you surviving?
How are we surviving?
Yeah.
Well, because we have each other, and we're both musicians, and music is a vital part of our survival, just mentally and emotionally. And because we're together and we can make music together, we're actually, we're not doing that badly. We're okay. Of course, there are moments of depression because all of our concerts are canceled until next July. And it took, at least a year, if not 2 years, to put all those tours together. And they've just, all that's gone, poof, away. And that's sad. And there are a whole bunch of other sad things. But, when I hear about a lot of other people, my friends who are not that well, I would say that we have less to complain about, is what I would say. What would you say?
No, I would agree with that also.
Okay.
Can you hear him through his mic?
Yeah. I can hear him.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's a very expensive mic. I hope
He's it is. It looks good. Looks expensive. Let's hear some music. We're also we're going to be focusing on your work, and I've been a fan for a long time. But let's hear a song because we are also we're having a little bit of a fundraiser right now with live concerts streaming. So let's hear a track.
Okay, so this is a track called Vokuch, and the lyrics are written by Pakistani-Canadian writer Tahira Masood, and it's a melody that I composed. And the song is talking about someone that she's madly in love with. And so she's heard that he has had a falling out with the company that he's been keeping. So this has raised her hopes that maybe he's going to turn around finally and look at her for her company.
Perfect.
And we're raising the money for the food bank of New York City. Yeah, that's a donation.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Thank you for doing it. 3 things?
Okay. takes a second.
Derek, you're not muted, are you?
I think he's muted.
Go. Hey. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, there we go.
Here we
All
go.
right.
Gotta remember to get that on there. Kiran Ahluwalia Rez Abbasi, performing live in New York City in Harlem. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being available. Thanks for presenting your work, presenting your music. And I need to ask a quick question. You guys are good. You know, you've been doing this for a while. There's an ease with how you guys are performing with each other. There's a joy to it. I mean, there's a joy to it. You guys, you know, you're a couple. You're living together. It's COVID. You're basically just, but you're still making beautiful music. What's your secret?
I mean, music is our breath. Yeah, it's, you know, when I was a young girl learning in India, I spent, you know, decades learning in India, and my colleagues and I were talking. We were in our early 20s, and we were talking. We were saying, like, one of my friends was saying, when I say colleague, you know, my fellow students who were learning from Padma Talwalkar, my classical Guruji, my friend was saying that, you know, I'm going to wait till I'm 40, and if I haven't made it big yet, I'm going to quit music. And right then and there, I thought, wow, I just don't think I can ever quit music. It's like breathing for me. It doesn't matter if I haven't made it big. I just need to be able to do music.
That's interesting because I've never told you, but I had a teacher that was like, when I was 16 or something, but I had a jazz teacher that said the same thing. He was like 29. He says, if I don't make it by 30, I'm going to quit. I was like,
30?
Wow. Yeah, well, he was 29. I was like, wow, like, what do you mean make it? First of all, what does make it?
What does that mean? What does make it mean?
Even at 16 years old, I was thinking, what does that mean, make it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I kind of understand, but not, like, I don't comprehend that really.
Why music in your lives? What was it? Was it like the family business, or was it why choose music?
Definitely not the family business.
Nope. You go ahead.
Oh, no.
Let's open up that can of worms.
I mean, I don't want to be cliched, but it chose me. So.
Okay, why? When did you know that it chose you? When was the moment that it?
Probably when I was just really introduced to it through my family. You know, uncle brought home a couple guitars. My brother and I started competing on the guitar. I was 11 years old, and it was kind of obvious I had the talent.
He did not.
Well, he went into real estate, so it's a good relationship. But
You support each other.
Well,
yeah,
to some degree.
exactly. Yeah. And for me, I mean, both of our parents are not full-time professional musicians, both of our sets of parents, but they are hobby singers, and it's a very passionate, serious hobby for both sets of parents. And so my parents were my first teachers of music. But my dad's in science, my mom's in accounting, and but they wanted me to have music in my life, and so I grew up with music. And then when I wanted to take the leap and make it a full-time career or my full-time thing to do, then there were a lot of arguments. You know, a lot of doors were slammed, tears were shed, and they were not into it because they were afraid of my economic future.
Yeah.
But when they saw that this was the only thing that was going to make me happy, they did eventually concede, and then they've been huge supporters of my career ever since.
And your career,
they've watched every live stream we've ever done during COVID.
Yeah.
So
did the conversation shift when you won your first Juno? When you know, it's the classic immigrant story. It's like when somebody else acknowledges your success, then it's real.
I think it shifted in a lot of different steps. So it definitely shifted when I won the Juno, but it also shifted when I had my first concert, and non-Indians who don't understand this language were buying tickets and were in the audience and were sitting through 2 45-minute sets and not walking away and enjoying it because the intention and the emotion and the melodies and the rhythms was carrying through to people even though they didn't understand the language. And I think that was also a major thing. And CBC Radio was a very early supporter of my career. And my mom and dad used to listen to CBC National Radio to be on the very radio station that they've been listening to while going to work. Those were huge things. To be in the Toronto Star, in the Globe and Mail, the national newspaper of Canada. So all of these things made them feel proud. And also, I would go to see music, other, world music, where I didn't understand the language, and they came with me often. And even though they didn't understand that language, be it Farsi or the Inuktitut language of the native indigenous people of Canada, even if they didn't understand that language, the music did speak to my parents. So they understood that there is a
There's a bridge.
special thing
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, there's a language there.
And
yeah.
and that's one of the reasons why SAMA exists right now, is because we all are in agreement that music is a very interesting art form, and there's something about that vibrational quality. I don't want to get overly specific, but it just helps. You can listen to something, you have no idea what the lyrics are about, but the intention behind the music is so strong. And I found this especially with some of your early work. It was like you were channeling multi-thousand-year-old tradition of sacred spiritual healing music to help people kind of get into a particular mindset, to help them deal with difficult times or transitions, or just to be part of life. There was just something about that musical quality. I had a guest on yesterday, DJ Tudo from Brazil, and he said the first time he went to India, his mind was blown. He had been in Europe and Africa, and there was an understanding. Like he got it. He could get where the music was coming from. He's Brazilian, so a huge Afro-Brazilian population. He saw where things were moving. But as soon as he came to India, then he was like, and I have a great video of him. He's like, this is a whole other universe. There's something here which is ancient, and there's something here which kind of like speaks to all different places. It transcends. Music is one of those pathways that takes you to another place. And once you've been there as a musician or as a listener, you can't really go back. It's like the memory is infused in you, and that's the vibe that I got from listening to you guys.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very sweet of you. I mean, you said that in my early career, I channeled those traditions, but I'm still channeling them. And that's nice of you to say that Indian music is, has that, but really all music, all good music does have that. I mean, just the other day, Rez was, we were taking a dopamine fast. We were doing a dopamine fast and not watching Netflix at night or being on our computers or our phones. And Rez picked up his guitar, which is nothing new, but it was, he just picked it up again. And at night, and he was playing some chords that were just so beautiful. And this does often happen to us. I started composing right then and there. It happens to us often. But it was many things. It was spiritual, and I'm gonna say it was also orgasmic. It was sexual. It was wow. Just a complete thing for me to connect.
Good job.
Oh, does Rez want to say something there?
No, I just said I didn't know that. I was playing a couple chords. I didn't know
remember those chords.
Actually, unfortunately, I think I forgot. Oh, you recorded them. Okay.
That's good.
But it was such a complete thing. It was like it was resonating with me here in my heart and in my mind and all over my body. And it was the connection with Rez. It was the creation of the music. It was the notes as I was singing them, as hearing the notes, and the connection with the guitar. It was just a complete whole food. Yeah.
It made it work.
For the soul.
Whole and the food AC was on too, so that helped.
That helps too. It's hot up in New York right now. Hey, let's on that note, let's hear some more music, and let's hear you've got Rabba Ru and Gulabi Ankhein. Let's hear those two songs back to back right now, because I want people to experience your music more so, and then we'll have a conversation before the next song.
Okay, do you want me to tell you what Rabba Ru is about, or no?
Yeah,
okay.
Please.
And then Gulabi Ankhein after it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what Rabba Ru is about. Rabba Ru is actually a song I wrote, lyrics and melody, about my love, Rez, and he arranged it. And it's a song that's saying that I want not just one lifetime with my beloved, but 7 lifetimes with my beloved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
You guys should go into couples counseling.
Couples therapy?
Offering
Yeah.
couples no, offering. That's amazing. I hope it's true.
As
After
Rez-
I'm predicting after the fourth life, we will be ending up there. So, everybody's got nothing wrong with couples therapy now. You
No.
get
I'm just saying, ask therapists, be therapists. You guys seem to have a pretty magical thing. Okay, let's hear this song.
So this is going to be, I'm going to explain Gulabi later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gulabi Ankhein is going to, yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I think we got it. Okay.
Rabba Ru, meri mannat suniyo, meri mannat suniyo. Rabba Ru, All right, we're going to go right into Gulabi Ankhein.
Okay. You're gonna say something?
No.
Oh.
गुलाबी आंखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया संभालो मुझको ओ मेरे यारो संभलना मुश्किल हो गया दिल में मेरे ख्वाब तेरे तस्वीर जैसे हो दीवार पे तुझ पे फिदा मैं क्यों हुआ आता है गुस्सा मुझे प्यार पे मैं लुट गया मान के दिल का कहा मैं कहीं का ना रहा क्या कहूँ है दिलरुबा बुरा ये जादू तेरी आँखों का ये मेरा कातिल हो गया गुलाबी आँखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया मैंने सदा चाहा यही दामन बचा लूं हसीनों से मैं तेरी कसम ख्वाबों में भी बचता फिरा नाज़नीनों से मैं तौबा मगर मिल गई तुझसे नजर मिल गया गर्दे जिगर सुन जरा ओ बेखबर जरा सा हंस के जो देखा तूने मैं तेरा बिस्मिल हो गया गुलाबी आंखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया संभालो मुझको ओ मेरे यारो संभलना मुश्किल हो गया
First time.
It was beautiful. Thank you
We're
for
gonna
sharing.
just switch up our system here so we can hear you. Can you
Totally,
hear me,
totally,
Derek?
totally,
There you go.
totally. That's beautiful. That was really, really. That was the first time you guys played that live.
That is the first time we've played it live, and we've played it together maybe 2.5 times.
I don't know where you get the half from. What happened? The food was burning or something?
Like, no, we just did half
Oh,
of
we
it.
forgot about dinner. Let's
Yeah,
forget
we
this.
just did half of it, and then we started again. So that is a 70s Bollywood classic, Gulabi Ankhein. It's talking about a guy who's describing someone he's in love with and saying, your rose eyes have made me intoxicated to such an extent that I'm angry at love because I'm wild. And so, like usually we do originals or some trad folk stuff and Qawwali stuff, but the reason why we picked this up is because during COVID, Rez has been learning cooking, and I've been learning guitar from Rez.
So this is part of your coping mechanism then? Is like, that's going to be my next question. It's like you guys, as you said, you were planning tours, you were putting records out. There was a cadence. You come up with songs, you record those songs, you release a record, then you go on tour. You're not doing that right now. So two of the main things going on tour, even going to a studio to record, is gone, and everything now is living in your room. One form or another, or in the kitchen, or learning. What are some of the you're picking up guitar. Rez is learning how to cook, which is awesome. What are some of the other things that you guys are doing to help to use this time as an opportunity to create? An opportunity to do things that you wouldn't usually do, because, as I said, there's a cadence. You're working musicians. This is what you do. This is like. And that's a cycle, and then there's not much room for learning guitar or learning cooking. So I'm just curious if you could speak to that a little bit. Like, what are you doing in this really interesting time?
Well, I mean, for me, like is the reverb off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For me, learning guitar and composing new songs pretty much takes up a lot of time. I'm also trying to get better at my hand percussion because it's just the two of us when we do live streams, and so Rez likes to have something behind his solos. So between the trying to get the percussion down and composing, and setting up the learning the tech of live stream takes a lot of time.
It's a new world.
Doing a lot of research to find out which mics to buy. This is a new mic that I'm testing out. I have another new mic that I'm going to test out and return one of them. And my guy at Sweetwater knows I'm returning one of them.
It's okay. We're all in the same boat.
And so that's takes up a lot. Oh, and I'm learning French, which I've been always doing that. How about you?
Yeah.
Well, come a little closer so you're in the light. You're in the little darkness a little.
I am a dark guy. I don't mind.
I'm dark too, but you should be in the light.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
No. I think that's a question for every musician, and I suppose artists of every sort, actors. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I was just reading an article like what series are actually going to be canceled next season because whatever. I mean, how are they supposed to fulfill their 20 episodes or 10 episodes that they had to do the last 6 months. So
Yeah.
But honestly, boy, I've been trying to myself to use this situation as something not to fill up with more things to do, actually, believe it or not. Because that's my
hard.
life that's most of our lives all the time. So in a way, I guess you could say it's just on a spiritual bent. It's sort of like, how can I just sit and do nothing? And since I'm not going on the road, I'm not really preparing for anything other than some of these, and and I want to do some solo guitar stuff, but I'm not really preparing for a concert. So, or a tour. So I sit there and then I think, okay, what can I do? And then I catch myself and say, look, all the sages and they all talk about not doing stuff all the time. So I've been preparing myself for a little bit of that paradigm shift.
I will say though that you have had recently a record released. So
Well,
when did it
that's
release?
August 28th.
Okay, so it was last week.
Yeah, last
What
week.
was it this week? I don't even know.
Last week.
Last
yeah,
week.
I mean,
It was this week? Okay. It was this week.
whatever, yeah.
So
August
that
28th.
you've been working on that, which is, yeah.
Yeah, that's been fun to see, get the feedback. It's if you don't mind me plugging, but it's
He
a new
had an
record.
interview before this. He had an interview for the record.
Plug away. We're
No,
all
no,
we're here. All boats rise.
No, that's okay. It's a new record called Django Shift, and it's based on the music of Django Reinhardt, his compositions. I don't play in that style, and if you want to call it gypsy jazz, it's not really the proper term, but there is, I guess you can, most people hear it as that, but it's a swing kind of music, and but I don't necessarily play in that way at all, but I've recontextualized them in a very modern, in my own way, his compositions, and
Okay.
so
There's a
in the record.
Bandcamp?
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp actually.
Okay.
It's just
We'll
released.
put a link and we'll get that out for everybody out there. I do need to do my proper diligence. We are raising money for the Food Bank of New York. Also, huge shout out to Live Concert Streaming for helping out with that, and also to Seattle Theater Group. And I want to hear one more song, but I do want to ask one quick question. So we talk about cadence in the context of a musician, the way you would write songs, put them out, go on tour, but you're not even going to venues anymore. And you guys are in New York, and going out to shows is part of what you do in New York, and you're not doing that anymore. So I'm just curious, and it could be considered a spiritual practice, and in many ways it is. Like, what are you doing to keep your batteries charged in that way?
Batteries charged for
Like, you're not seeing shows anymore. You're not going to concerts. You're not going. You're not seeing other musicians. So you're not getting that live experience from artists. So I'm curious what you guys are doing.
I'm watching a lot of live streams.
Okay.
So one of the first when COVID first hit, in one of the first people, the first cultural responders was Canada's NAC, National Arts Centre in Ottawa, a big, huge theater. Yes, awesome. And so they were the first cultural responders, and they started hiring Canadian musicians and paying them very nice fees to do live streams. And of course, we did a live stream for them as well. But that sustained me for a while. Every night, they had like maybe 5 live streams a day. There were other places in Canada as well that did a lot of live streams. So in the beginning, for 2, 3, 4 months, maybe I was watching a lot of live streams. Now I'm also watching like online workshops, like jazzvoice.org is a wonderful online portal that my friend Alexis has started, and like Sheila Jordan just gave a master class online, and it's on Zoom, and other people are singing, and Sheila comments on their singing. So I watch a lot of that. So yeah.
So you're educating still.
I'm totally educating.
Yeah, that's sort of in our blood. We can't help to do that. I mean, it's sort of like we can't ignore the fact that we, are bound to like growing all the time and learning information. But what I was talking about before is just stepping back from that. Especially in this sort of given time. I mean, if you can afford it. I mean, we get help from unemployment and all that stuff also. Yeah. So it's sort of, and I have a lot of friends who are also, because there's nowhere to turn to as a musician. Yeah. I mean, you can't bail on that. I mean, I'm doing some teaching, but it's not the same. Like Zoom is just not.
It's not the same thing.
Zoom or Skype, I mean, I was just thinking the other day, like, what if we went through this like in 1918 or even just 20 years ago, when we didn't, 30 or whatever, when we didn't have all this entertainment at home, like
this whole
YouTube thing. I mean, YouTube, I've outdone myself on YouTube. I mean, I'm just on there.
It could be a wormhole. You could find yourself like hours later.
It's incredible. But I mean, imagine if no one had access to all that 25 years ago, even. how would everybody's brain just be conducting?
You'd read a lot.
themselves?
You'd be listening to a lot of records. I mean, we had a pandemic, the Spanish influenza, and as a species, we survived, and music played a role, and artists were able to share their work. But the thing that I find interesting is that you didn't have this kind of cross-cultural experiences as you have right now. There would be no way that an artist from Pakistan and India would be sharing their music to people all over, Canada, the US, and North America. So it just feels like at this particular time, for me personally, even with SAMA especially, it's an opportunity for different cultures and different voices to be heard. And since we're focusing on sacred spiritual healing music, it's a particular section that its intention is to help you deal, fundamentally, to help you deal with the uncertainty of life. So thank you for offering. Thank you for putting that out. Let's hear another song, please. Let's hear Coca.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a song called Coca, and Coca means nose ring, and I'm wearing a nose ring, which I'm going to show you all.
Careful.
Right there. And so the song is about a girl who's the song is about a girl in the villages of Punjab, and she's trying to convince her lover that he should go to the market and buy her a nose ring. Not because she needs proof of love, but it's those people over there, the neighbors, need proof, are asking proof. Like, oh, does this guy really love you? I'm also fixing this thing over here. Yeah, does he love you? So, so she's trying to get him to buy her a nose ring, a Coca nose ring.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. 1, 2. Awesome.
Can't even hear this. Okay.
आखा नहीं मोड़ी दा सजना प्यारे आंदा आखा नहीं मोड़ी दा जुड़े दा ना हो चन्ना दिल नहीं तोड़ी दा जुड़े दा ना हो चन्ना दिल नहीं तोड़ी दा रब दिला विच रहे सोहणिया रब दिला विच रहे सोहणिया भुल्ले शादा होका वे हाणिया कोका कड़वा देवे मैया कोका वे हाणिया कोका कड़वा देवे मैया कोका गली गली बंजारा फिरदा देंदा फिरदा होका ले जाओ कोका गली गली बंजारा फिरदा देंदा फिरदा होका ले जाओ कोका वे हाणिया कोका कड़वा तेरे मैया कोका कड़वा तेरे मैया कोका कड़वा तेरे मैया कोका Nice.
That was beautiful. Kiran Ahluwalia Rez Abbasi. Track is called Coca. That's off your first record, right?
That is off. Yes, that's correct. That's off our first record. Yep.
That's great. That's awesome. So Rez has a new record out. We'll put a link to Bandcamp on there. Hey, thank you for sharing your work. Thank you for the time. Thank you for being available. Thank you for continuing to create. That is the most important part. As creators, as artists, if you stop, that is a bad sign for all of us out there. So even though things are difficult, it's heartwarming to hear that you're continuing to evolve and to grow even.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People like you help us keep moving.
People
forward.
like you help us, and people always say that the music brought us a certain amount of cheers, brought some cheer to their living room and their house. So we like that. We like doing that. We like bringing cheer into people's homes.
You're doing it right now. I want to do this again, and we'll continue to see where this journey takes us. And I'm also super curious to see what your work will be like after this. You know, it's an interesting time. You know, one could say we're in our cave of solitude to build the next body of work, which hopefully can transform all of humanity. Small step. We'll see how it goes.
Baby steps, yes.
Yeah, no pressure or anything.
No,
on us.
hey, why not? You know, swing for the fences, as they say. A massive success. Continue to grow. Stay healthy. Stay safe. I want to thank live concert streaming. I want to thank STG. I want to thank Global Music Month. You can check out more concerts that are going on right now with up to 19 different festivals from all over North America. So check that out, globalmusicmonth.org. Huge shout out to Gordon and everybody at Live Concert Streaming. Rez, Kiran, thank you. Be well, stay safe, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you. Stay sane, everybody.
We'll try.
Bye-bye.
Bye.